morning, everybody. Hello. It's Monday, and we're going to make some soup and broccoli oriental salad. I always have to think of those things, the names for everything. So we have our soup pan here, which I'm always using my wok because it's easier for you guys to see what's in it. And it has it just has a little bit of water in here. Like I always try to hook up always try to start whatever it is that I'm making with a super hot pot. And then I put a little bit of water in the bottom, and I often will cook with no oil at all. And just keep adding the water so that it doesn't scorch, and then that way everything cooks faster because I'm so in a hurry all the time. Words are escaping me this morning. And so anyways, yeah, so I like to have quick 15-minute meals, and I have quite a few of them on my YouTube channel. And so I really oh, that's funny. My little live thing sort of disappeared, but I'm sure I'm still on. Am I still on? Anyways, yeah, so I usually start with the pan with hot water, and so we're gonna make like the simplest soup ever, and it's cheating big time. So what we'll do is we'll set the broccoli here for a minute, and we're gonna put this in so it starts warming up. I do have a little bit of water in here, just because I had it so that it was heating, but I don't really need this water now that you guys are here. Everybody's here, so I'm just going to dump out the water. And I know it's crazy. This is so crazy. But I came up with the idea because of this not going shopping kind of thing, you know, with the whole COVID thing and not going shopping. I wanted to make tomato soup, and I didn't have anything with tomatoes really at the time. But I had a bottle of V8 juice, and I thought, hey, why not? So I mean, seriously, you guys, this is like the easiest thing ever. Because what I wanted to make, I should have shaken it first. What I wanted to make was a tomato basil soup at the time. I didn't have any basil either, and I still don't. Like I have seeds, and I have a little bit in the garden, and but not enough for the soup. And I'm not really a super fan of the basil either, so depending on what it's in. You know, I'm not a fan of, what's that called? You know, that stuff, that sauce you make with basil. Anyways, it'll come to me. So, hi Darlene, hi Jane, hi everybody. It's so funny because my little live button sort of disappeared. But anyways, hopefully I'll be able to read your questions and comments as we're cooking. So I have this on high. Super easy. You guys just really won't believe it. We're going to add nutritional yeast, which is full of vitamins, really good for probiotics, really good for protein. It's got the B vitamins in it. It does not have an accessible source of B12. Like a lot of vegans will want this for the B12, but it doesn't. It has to be added in because the B12 that's in it is not absorbable, so they usually fortify it with B12, just so you know. But anyway, it does have other B vitamins. So we're going to, we're going to give it this instead of cheese. So this will be like a plant-based, non-dairy tomato parmesan. But the nutritional yeast adds such a beautiful cheesy flavor. It's just really quite amazing. And so the nutritional yeast adds that cheesy flavor. And then, yeah, and then what we're going to do also is we'll give this a little stir as it's starting to cook with the nutritional yeast. Oh, it also, what I was going to say, it also adds a thickening. So it helps to thicken, not a lot, but a little, depending on what it is that you're using it in. And so it's really awesome for that. Now the other thing that we're going to add, just to make it a little bit creamy, we're going to add a coconut milk to give it a bit of a, it balances out that strong tomato taste. And in the case of E8, like that's one of the really great things. I know it's so hilarious, but seriously, you've got your celery, you have your, what have you got? You've got carrots, you've got, looks like all kinds of vegetables in here. And I mean, really, why not? Because it's better than plain, like a canned tomato or tomato paste or whatever. It has all that extra stuff in it. It has, I don't know how many, I guess 8 servings of vegetables. I'm so funny. But when you're in a hurry, this is awesome. So you can add a little bit of coconut milk to this. I'm going to guess at, it depends on how much to taste, but I'm going to say that was like half a cup. And then 2 heaping tablespoons of the nutritional yeast. I always like to make things spicy, so I am going to add some cayenne to this because I always like a little heat. The cayenne adds to the circulation. It helps the blood to move around. It opens up the capillaries. You know, as we get older, things start to shrink and fall down. And so it opens up the capillaries and it helps with elasticity of the blood vessels. And it, you know, really cayenne is so important for everything. I'm going to add some of it's a granulated garlic. So probably at least a full teaspoon of that. And it's always good if you can add turmeric to anything every single day, or everything every single day. It's just awesome because the turmeric has the curcumin and it has the all of the anti-inflammatories, anti-cancer. I mean, everybody knows how good turmeric is. So that was about maybe half a teaspoon, because the thing with the turmeric is that it does have a bit of a a little bit of a bitter taste. And we add turmeric to our chai tea that we make daily. But if I add too much, you can really, you know, it really takes away the beautiful spiciness of the chai tea. It has a bit of a bitter taste. Also, whenever you add turmeric, you should add black pepper to activate, the turmeric. Whoa, my spoon almost fell in. Maybe I better put that out here. Okay, so yeah, so the black pepper activates the turmeric, and oh god, my arms need toning. I have not kept up to that. Anyways, lesson learned. Okay, so the other thing that makes it kind of parmesan-y is dairy-free. This is, anyways, it's Earth Island Parmesan, and it's a plant-based Parmesan. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit right now, but I'm going to just sprinkle over the top so that it looks nice. But this just gives enough of adding. You don't need a lot because we're really working with the nutritional yeast because it gives such a nice cheesy flavor. And so we're going to use that more of a garnish. But we will put a little bit in. The other thing that I found, we'll give this a stir. You can see it. Oh yeah, you can see it pretty good. Mixing with the milk and the turmeric and the nutritional yeast. There's this stuff here, which is an Epicure product, which I use some Epicure things, and this has a meat-free bacon that tastes amazing. And the way they put it together with, okay, what have they put it together with? Imitation bacon. It's flavored pinto beans, which is super awesome. Sunflower oil, salt, yeast extract, onion, and thyme and chives, black pepper. So we're going to add some of this because that gives it just a hint of a bacony flavor, you know, just to bring out the tomatoes. There's this one here too, which is, I don't usually do this to you guys. This one has, same thing. It's pinto beans flavored, sunflower oil, yeast, almost the same thing. This one does have tomato powder and black pepper, leek, and chives. So I'm going to add a little of this too. It just really brings out the flavors. I often will make my own spices and stuff. Like we made enchiladas Friday, I think we made enchiladas with a homemade enchilada sauce, like in a homemade chili powder. So I didn't even use store-bought chili powder, mostly because I didn't have any. And so I thought I could probably do that. And I think I was missing, I only had smoked paprika, and so I did not have a sweet paprika, which I'm going to get some. I think that would be good. Anyway, that was my experiment on Friday, and oh my god, it turned out so good, the homemade enchiladas. So you can kind of see the seasonings here going around, and I mean, that's it. Like, seriously, 5-minute tomato, parmesan, awesome soup. If you wanted to, you could add a can of coconut milk. That really flips the flavor over because it's quite sweet. But anyway, that's like the easiest soup you'll ever make in the whole world. So we're going to go on to the next thing, which is the, we're going to do the broccoli salad. And I always wash my vegetables before I put them in the fridge. So super important. Always wash your vegetables before you put them in the fridge. Because, you know, for me, I'm done at the end of the day. I get up early and I get a lot of computer work done first thing, and then especially right now with the gardening season, you know, I'm out there all day. So the last thing I want to do at the end of the day is come in and start washing vegetables and pulling them out of the fridge. So always, I always wash my vegetables before I put them in the fridge, and I store them with the bags open. Like I've got those little cloth bags, and I store them open so that when I open up the fridge, I just go in and I take a knife and I just hack off what I need, rather than pull the bags out and then have to put the bags in. In this case, for you guys, just for you, I brought the broccoli out so that you can see what I'm doing. And, okay, so we've got the broccoli here. I'm going to chop up a little bit more. And I wanted to say, too, with the broccoli, I'm going to put it here so you can see it. The hearts are really, really good. A lot of people don't like the stems, but if you cut the edges of the stems, here, I'll do it over here so you can see, you know, kind of like skinning it or peeling it. Take those off. The heart of the broccoli is so good. It's so tender. It's like almost the very best part of the broccoli. So I always treasure and cut up the broccoli stems. The broccoli stems. Okay, so we're going to make a little sauce here for the sort of an Asian sesame sauce. So we're going to use some, oh, my label's falling off, some Bragg's liquid aminos, and I'm going to say a quarter of a cup for that much broccoli. And then we're going to add, oh, the label fell right off, a little bit of the apple cider vinegar. Oh, that's so funny. I know you guys are on here, but it's not letting me see the comments. You know, Facebook changes all the time, or me, the settings, because it's always something. Nearly always. Anyways, I'll trust that you're there, and if I can't see your comments and I'm not responding to your comments, this happened on Friday too. That's so weird. Just put them in the Facebook posts, and then I'll respond to them then. for whatever it is, you know, whatever your, any questions that you have or any comments that you have. And hi everybody, I'm just going to say hi everybody, because for some reason the little boxes aren't popping up, but I know you're there. Okay, back to the recipe. 1/4 cup of Bragg's liquid aminos. Apple cider vinegar with the mother is really important, to have that mother, to have it naturally fermented. And it's quite strong, so I'm just going to add like 2 tablespoons of that. And also the sesame oil, the roasted, it's toasted, or is it roasted? I think it's toasted. It's very strong, and so you don't want much. I'm going to say 4 drops of the toasted sesame oil. And then as you go through and you taste everything, then you can add to it. I am going to add, I don't normally, but I am going to add a little bit of, just a sprinkle of the garlic, granulated garlic. And I'm going to add the apple cider vinegar. I'm going to add the maple syrup. And I'm going to say 2 tablespoons. 1, 2. That might have been 3. Okay, we'll see. Okay, and oh, that reminds me. As I'm looking at the salt for this, we didn't put salt, Himalayan salt, in our soup. The Himalayan salt, because it's more of a natural mineral salt, you can use quite a bit more than a regular salt, and please don't use regular salt. It's just, a lot of it's chemically made, like really find out where your salt's coming from. The Himalayan sea salt is, well, it's not really a sea salt, but it might be a sea salt, I'm not really sure. Anyway, it's natural, and so you need more because, for it to taste salty. So I'm just gonna add a little, not too much in this because it's a very small amount. And I love cayenne so much, but probably we probably don't want it in here. Okay, so my soup is starting to bubble, and so you can see those little plant-based parmesans floating around. They add to the texture and the beauty. Okay, so the other thing I'm going to add is I have some almonds here, and you can, I always buy my nuts raw, which is where the nutrition is, right? It has the omega-3s and the fats, and the raw nuts and seeds are so much more beneficial, and even more beneficial if you soak them. Like if you have a problem digesting nuts, to soak them is really super beneficial, because it starts that enzyme process of almost like sprouting, but soaking them. And so it increases not only increases the digestibility, but it brings the nutrient value way, way higher, because you've started that sprouting process. And so the plant starts just building all this beautiful nutrition. And so anyway, or what you can do traditionally in the recipe, they do suggest to roast or toast. Again, roast or toast those almonds. So whatever you want to do, but keep in mind, if you do toast or roast the almonds, it makes them harder to digest. So if you have a digestive issue, always best to have your nuts raw, and even better to have them soaked. So, so the other thing we're going to add is some organic cranberries that don't have sulfites in them, and so they're not as red. And I can open them up here, so we're going to add a few cranberries to it, and then we'll give it a little stir here. And we're going to add a little bit of olive oil just to help it to blend. So we don't need a lot of olive oil, but it's just going to help it to mix. So I'm going to say 2 tablespoons. Hope somebody's writing this down for me. Put it on my YouTube. Okay, so we're just going to mix this up. You can see the It's not a whole lot of the sauce. That's why I've got it in a clear thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our broccoli to it. And the broccoli has vitamin K, so it's really, really good. I mean, you know, all the vegetables are, all the cruciferous vegetables are so good for the colon and the everything, you know, but especially the intestinal system. And so it's got lots of fiber. The broccoli has lots of fiber. It has potassium. It's really good for, like I said, vitamin K, vitamin C. It helps to build collagen. And so it has all kinds of different nutrients. So can you see that? I don't know if you can see well enough. Maybe if I put my hand this way so you can see. So I'm just mixing the broccoli with the oriental dressing. And typically this recipe is done with cabbage a lot of times, and then those crunchy Asian noodles. But in this case, we're not doing that. Okay, so we got our broccoli salad coated, and then what we can do is get another spoon and take a taste. It's coated so well there's almost no juice in the bottom now. Very good. I'm going to add a couple more drops of the sesame oil. You don't want to add too much, so it's best to start small. Carefully. Careful, careful. 1. Oh no, it did 3. That's the problem with these. You almost need like a dropper because it goes a long way. Anyway, the other thing, as I knew there was something missing, and hopefully I didn't put too much sesame oil. It needs the sweet. And so I use a lot of, if you've watched my recipes on YouTube, there's about 125 recipes on there, mostly all 15-minute meals that are really healthy and plant-based. And I use a lot of maple syrup. And so, so you'll see that on my YouTube that I use a lot of maple syrup. So in this case, though, I just want to add a deeper texture. And so instead of the maple syrup, I'm going to add a little bit of the coconut sugar because it has a lower glycemic index than regular sugar or brown sugar or any other kind of sugar, other than the other sugar that has, like, really for diabetics is the best one that I found that tastes like sugar is monk fruit, M-O-N-K, monk fruit is super awesome. But it's almost like an icing sugar. It's very, very sweet. So anyway, I like the texture of the coconut sugar, so I'm not going to add much. I'm going to add like I'm going to add half a tablespoon. How do you like that? And so not much. And the other thing I have here that I almost forgot about too is sunflower seeds, just to add extra protein. So we're mixing our protein with our broccoli. Yeah, the coconut sugar, it's, once you get used to it, I mean, the using it, it almost adds a deeper flavor. I'm looking for the word, deeper flavor than the maple syrup. The maple syrup is beautiful, but it has a thinner, richer flavor, and this has a earthier, deeper flavor, I would say, the coconut sugar. And it doesn't melt, like it doesn't break down super fast either. So depending on your recipe, it'll have just the teensiest bit of a granulated texture. Oh God, trying to describe everything. Okay, so see, there's the broccoli with the broccoli, sunflower seeds, almonds, and cranberries. So I'm just going to set that there, and I might try and tilt it up a bit for you. Well, I'm just going to go over a couple more things, looking at the time. We're getting to time. Can you guys see that okay? Ta-da! Okay, so tomato soup coming along beautifully. What I wanted to show you as we end our little morning hanging out here is I have my different herbs here for the different things going on this week. Okay, so do you guys remember the wall lettuce? Oops. And actually, if you everything's falling over. If you look at my Facebook page, there's an amazing picture of, like, I found this whole, like, a shelf of wall lettuce above the dog pee line. And it was, like, way up high on the side of the path, the trail. And so anyway, I got this huge bouquet of wall lettuce. And so the wall lettuce is the, it disappeared again. Latica muralis. Oh, I forgot the Latin name again. Anyways, I'll look it up on my Facebook. I'll put it there. So the wall lettuce is totally edible. And these are a little too big, so they'll be a little bitter and a little tough to eat. But when you get the small shoots, they're totally edible. But what they've been used for traditionally, we were talking about this last week, is as a painkiller. So it has sort of similar to opioid properties in it. So it has been used traditionally for pain. So what I did was I took my big, huge bundle that I had, and I brewed it down into the olive oil. I don't want to spill that. So I covered it in olive oil, and then very, very low, warm heat, like very low. And so the properties all go into the oil, and then we're going to be making a salve with that, similar to what we did with the broom flowers. So the broom flowers are have been used. Okay, I haven't actually worked with these because I never had time before, so I'm so excited to work with all this new, unusual and wild growing medicine. So the broom flowers traditionally have been used in an ointment for gout, and so I did make some, and that's what we'll be doing with the wall lettuce too. And so there's the beautiful broom salve or ointment. Okay, so, well, the sun's coming and going, and I'm going to get in the garden, and so thank you guys for coming in and hanging out and helping me make soup. I'm just going to turn that off. And the broccoli. So just recap for the new people that came on. There's new people on here. And so we made the tomato parmesan soup, and if you didn't see how it started at the beginning, well, it'll be interesting for you because it's the fastest, quickest, easiest thing ever. And then we made the beautiful broccoli salad with, it's like an Asian dressing with the sesame seed oil, Bragg's liquid aminos, apple cider vinegar, cranberries, almonds, and sunflower seeds. And so anyway, that's it. Thanks for coming and hanging out, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 11. I'm doing this every day, Monday to Friday at 11, and I have a lot of other videos on my YouTube channel, so definitely check it out, and hope to see you here tomorrow. Have a good day.